Dungeons & Dragons is a tabletop role-playing game where you can create any possibility of fantasy character as your avatar. But today, we will be making me, Super Eyepatch Wolf. For our first build, we will be honoring our actual martial arts background as well as our love of wrestling to create a 5th level monk. Now, monks have a lot of abilities at this level, but what's important is understanding that we are expert hand-to-hand fighters using our dexterity and our wisdom. At 3rd level, you get a particular kind of monk. We will be going with the warrior of the open hand. We get a background, a description of what we were before we became an adventurer. Now, I'm not sure if Super Eyepatch Wolf has ever actually been on a boat, but he does like One Piece, and we do need the Tavern Brawler feat for our build. For our fantasy species, also known as race, it would be a little hard to convince your dungeon master to just let you be a werewolf, so we're going with the shifter species. This means that a couple times a day, you can transform into a more bestial aspect. We will be taking on the long tooth quality, giving us an extra option in unarmed combat as we bite our foes. For our ability scores, we will be using the standard array, so forgive me if some of these numbers are lower than what they should be. I had to make some tough choices. We have 8 strength, 17 dexterity, 12 constitution, 10 intelligence, 15 wisdom, and 13 charisma. We make a lot of wild and honestly questionable videos for YouTube, but it's all in good fun and all in proper analysis to give you better media. We are going with the alignment of chaotic good. Our skills are acrobatics, perception, insight, and history. Just because we are the final gamer of unarmed combat doesn't mean we have to go into combat naked. We're going to bring a scimitar as a sidearm just in case we have to deal slashing damage. We're going to bring some darts, which are a bit like throwing knives, kind of like guts. We have navigator's tools, weaver's tools for my merch linked in the description. We have rope for tying up our grappled foes, and we are bringing an explorer's pack. At 4th level, we will be picking up the Grappler feat, an overall buff to our unarmed combat style. So that's my build, but I'm not going into this fight alone. Check the video down below to see the collaborator that will be in my tag team for our D&D party. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Y'all know I'm an old head who would rather be playing an old school game like Dungeon Crawl Classics, but 5th edition D&D is what the culture feeling, so let's get to my build. For our FD Signifier build, we are going with a 5th level Bard. Bards get a lot of features. What's most important is our bardic inspiration for inspiring smaller creators. At 3rd level, we get a special Bard College. We're going with College of Lore, which gets the feature Cutting Words. This means that we can use our inspiration and turn it around against our enemies. Sometimes you have to put a debate bro or a hotep in their place. Our background is going to be the highly educated sage, boosting our intelligence and wisdom, giving us a couple extra wizard spells, and also some calligrapher's supplies for writing our scripts. Our species is going to be Hobgoblin. We have Dark Vision and Fey Ancestry. We also have Fey Gift, which means whether it's for hospitality, passage, or spite, we can use the help action as a bonus action for our allies. And we have Fortune of the Many, which means that even if we mess up, the community has our back. Our ability scores are 14 Strength, 8 Dexterity, 10 Constitution, 15 Intelligence, 13 Wisdom, and 15 Charisma. Now, normally you would want to build a bard with higher dexterity and probably dump the strength, but unlike you, I actually go to the gym. Our measured responses are all for the betterment of the various communities that watch our channel. We are neutral good. Bard and College of Lore combined gave us a lot of skills. We're good at Arcana, Investigation, Athletics, Performance, Medicine, and Insight with expertise in Persuasion and History. Bards get a lot of spells, and I put out a lot of videos. Our cantrips are Friends, Message, and Vicious Mockery. At 1st level, we get Bane, Command, Healing Word, and Thunderwave. 2nd level, we got Detect Thoughts, Suggestion, and Zone of Truth. And our third level spells are Clairvoyance and Sending. For our equipment, we want to wear some studded leather armor. We're going to grab a couple daggers. Bards are usually playing a musical instrument for their spells, but y'all are not going to get me to do the horny guy with a lute bit, so I'm just going to go with a staff. It still works for casting our spells. We take along our calligrapher supplies and an entertainer's pack. Our feed isn't flashy, it's just simple self-improvement by boosting our intelligence and our charisma. I do like Super Eyepatch Wolf, but this party is going to need some backup, and we're going to need some more serious damage output if we're going to deal with all the threats the internet has to offer. So, go ahead and click the next video where I call in an ally from BreadTube. Hi there. I know it's been a year since I put out that plagiarism video you all watched, but my next target is going to be some minor D&D YouTuber who's stealing my voice. Now then, let's get to my D&D build. To bring the pain to internet weirdos, we are going to make a 5th level ranger. We get spells, we get favored enemy. Who cares? Let's move on. This is where things get really interesting. At 3rd level, we are going to pick the Gloom Stalker specialization. We get Dread Ambusher that comes with a number of combat applications. We are going to get a couple spells, and we get Umbral Sight, which means we get improved dark vision, and when enemies rely on dark vision to see us, we are actually invisible. Isn't that fun? This may be a little different, but we're going to stick with the nature aspect by picking the background of the guide. We get some ability score improvements and some druid spells. That's nice. Our species is the delightful goblin. We can still move as quickly as any human. We get dark vision, fey ancestry, fury of the small, which is going to amp up our damage even further, and nimble escape, which gives us a bonus action option to hide or disengage while we're fighting. Our ability scores are 8 strength, 17 dexterity, 12 constitution, 10 intelligence, 14 wisdom, and 14 charisma. You don't need an hour-and-a-half video for me to explain that I'm chaotic neutral. Our skills are stealth, survival, insight, and investigation, and we're actually going to take expertise in perception so we can kind of be the lookout for our party. We're going to pick up some good ranger spells, but there's one I want to focus on in particular, and that is Spike Growth. See, we're going to form a combo with Super Eyepatch Wolf, where we cause the ground to have sharp spikes that grind down our foes, and he's just going to drag people across them. Let's give our goblin some equipment. You didn't actually think I was going to go with a longbow or crossbow, did you? The musket's right there in the player's handbook, so I don't see why I wouldn't grab it. Oh, you want me to be stealthy? Fine, I'll bring along a blowgun. That's alright. We get a sprig of mistletoe for our spells, a cartographer's pack for making maps, and an explorer's pack. We get a few extra techniques from our weapons. That is going to be the slow property on our musket, and the vex property on our blowgun, and the archery fighting style. At 4th level, we're getting a feat, and that is going to be Gunner. And that's me. But you know what? You've watched this far. Go ahead and see the 4th and final member of our party. This is where I would put in a really intelligent cold opening, but this is a D&D Builds video. It's an inherently dumb idea, so we're just going to get right into it. For our Folding Ideas build, we will be making a 5th level wizard. I have the beard now, so we might as well lean into it. But we're not going to be hanging out on the back line with FD Signifier. We are getting right in the thick of it with the blade singing specialization. We are going to pick up a rapier, and we can activate our blade song for some enhanced melee combat powered by our magic. We're a student of film and a longtime crafter of YouTube media, so we are going with the artisan background. We're going to make lots of nice little trinkets for the benefit of our party. Our fantasy species is going to be the proud Aarakocra. This is representative of us moving on from mere film criticism into loftier, high-concept videos. The reason you get Aarakocra is to pick up flight. Flight doesn't work if you're wearing heavy armor, but we don't need that because of our blade singing. Our ability scores are 8 strength, 15 dexterity, 13 constitution, 17 intelligence, 12 wisdom, and 10 charisma. Our character combats the chaos of bad editing and the evil of NFTs, making us lawful good, bringing a sense of order to the likes of hbomberguy and Super Eyepatch Wolf. Hey, it's well-known recurring character, Hat Dan. Our skills are Persuasion, Arcana, Nature, with an expertise in Investigation. Our spells are a big deal, and you can pause here if you want to read them all. What matters most is that we have a mix between utility and damage. Just because we're fighting with our rapier on the ground doesn't mean we can't see when we're too in the thick of it, fly up, take a break, and rain down some lightning bolts. We don't need much in the way of essential equipment. We have our rapier, of course. We're going to go with a rod rather than the traditional staff like Gandalf, and we need a spellbook and a scholar's pack. For our feat, we are selecting Keen Mind. So, thank you for watching. You've met the full party, but you haven't met the Dungeon Master. He's got some silly videos, some serious videos, but if I'm going to recommend anything to you, it's going to be something in the middle, something with balance. And maybe I can introduce myself a little better. My name is Jackson, and I run a tiny channel called TrueSight. Now, I have no delusions of any of those four guys seeing this video, and I have no delusions of becoming a big YouTuber like them. I just like YouTube, and I like D&D and tabletop role-playing games like D&D. And I happen to think that the hobby can use a little more YouTuber-style analysis rather than the, power scaling videos and WotC drama videos and reading RPG horror stories. All that stuff is fine too. I just like to dig a little deeper, and that's kind of what TrueSight is about. It's not that I have perfect TrueSight and I'm going to tell you the perfect way to run your game. It's that by digging deeper into the games we play and hearing your perspective as well, we can all start to gain a better vision of what a better game means for ourselves and for our friends. If that quest interests you, then maybe you can join me. Go check out my channel, whether it's for the serious analysis I try to make, or for silly stuff that plays with the fun of the game, like which One Piece arcs would make the best D&D adventures. And I'm always open to requests from you guys for what you want to know about my professional experience or what you want to improve in your games. And yeah, if this pops off, I might just make some more Youtuber D&D builds. Why not? Whether you're subscribing to my channel or you just wanted to see what this one dumb video on your feed was about, I appreciate you watching. And I hope whatever hobby you engage with in real life is a good time and that you have a nat 20 day. Bye bye.